So I will chant, you can follow in the beginning stages. Later on, we can chant together. Om. Please chant. Sada Shiva Samarambham
Shiva Samarambham
Shankaracharya Madhyamam
Shankaracharya Madhyamam
Asmadacharya Paryantam
Asmadacharya Paryantam
Vande Guru Paramparam
Vande Guru Paramparam
Om Sahana Bhavatu
Om Sahana Bhavatu
Sahanau Bhunaktu
Sahanau Bhunaktu
Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Tejasvinavaditamastu
Tejasvinavadhitamastu
Ma Vidvishavahai
Ma Vidvishavahai
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Tat Sat Om Namah Shivaya. So I welcome all of you to this new batch of complete study of Bhagavad Gita. So as we have informed in the group, the medium of instruction will be in English. So this entire Bhagavad Gita takes about anywhere between 4 to 5 years of every weekend classes. So it is a long study, a lot of commitment and perseverance is required to learn the entire Bhagavad Gita. So as far as possible, please try to be punctual, try to attend the live classes, because you can ask questions in the live classes. It makes a difference. The vibes are different, vibrations are different, because many students are participating. In case you cannot attend, then in that case, you can go for that recording. Recordings will be shared regularly. So recordings can be listened to and notes to be taken. Okay. Then as per tradition, Bhagavad Gita is always started with the Dhyana Shlokas. Like we all know, any work, any task, any endeavor undertaken, any undertaking taken, start with the Mangalacharan, prayers. We pray to Ishvara and the divine forces that whatever we start may be completed. Because we all know that we can only make efforts in any undertaking, any endeavor that we take, we can only make efforts. And there are other forces, divine forces, natural forces. There are so many things which can cause obstacle to a task. That is why prayers are always offered before starting any work, whether it is Mahabharatam or whether it is small, a poem, anything always starts with the prayers, praying to the Almighty that whatever we start may be completed. So Dhyana Shlokas we will chant. Before starting the Dhyana Shlokas, you can tell me, any of you, few of you may tell me, what is Bhagavad Gita and what is your expectation or objective of studying this course? Just to understand your basic knowledge. There are no correct or wrong answers. Whatever you feel, you can tell me.
Om.
Yes.
Nizam Bakshi. I feel Bhagavad Gita is our history which we all should know.
Your voice is very low. Please speak.
You are able to hear me now?
Now, yes.
I feel it's our history we should know, a way of life. And what I have listened or what I've heard about Bhagavad Gita is it has a lot of lessons which we can implement in our life.
Yes. One is the practical aspect of it. Srimad Bhagavad Gita tells us how to lead a life, lead our life. Okay. It's a guideline. It gives us guidelines, rules, how to conduct one's life. But there is major objective, another major objective, that is to attain moksha, liberation. Okay. That is why it is called Brahma Vidya. It shows us the way to attain moksha, freedom from samsara, freedom from this worldly life. And it is also called Yoga Shastra. Why it is called Yoga Shastra?
The science of uniting with yourself or the Almighty.
Yeah, in a way, right? It shows us the way, means it not only shows the objective, how to attain moksha, but how to attain it. Okay, that is why it is called Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. How to do that, the means, the ways to do that. Okay, this is a big brief background we will discuss in the introductory classes. And as you are all aware that Srimad Bhagavad Gita is not a separate book or text. It is part of
Mahabharata.
great Mahabharata written by the great sage Vyasa. It is a part of that Mahabharata, which is called the fifth Veda, Mahabharata. It has 700 verses, as we all know, in 18 chapters, in which Bhagavan Shri Krishna gives advice to Arjuna, and through Arjuna, the teachings are given to all the humankind. It is not only Arjuna, through Arjuna, we get the teaching. Because in a way, we are all Arjuna only. We are all having problems. Arjuna was having problem in the battlefield. He was affected by Raga, Shoka and Moha, attachment, delusion, and sorrow. We are all faced with same things in our lives. So through Arjuna, the teachings are given to us. It is not that only in the battlefield one faces problem. Life is also a battlefield. We are all facing many problems in our lives, and for which Bhagavad Gita offers solutions. So through Arjuna, Bhagavan teaches us. So with this brief background, we will move on to the Dhyana Shlokas as per the Sampradaya tradition. So I will chant, you can follow with me. I have shared the Dhyana Shlokas in the group also. The PPTs also I am showing it. And people who cannot, students who cannot read Sanskrit, for their benefit, that English transliteration is also given. So you can slowly follow. There are 9 verses in Dhyana Shlokas, opening prayers. This was written by one great Acharya, Madhusudana Saraswati. There are so many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, as all of you must be aware. One of the greatest is Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya wrote a great commentary. And there are so many hundreds of commentaries written by great acharyas. And one of them is Madhusudana Saraswati, who wrote a beautiful commentary called Gudartha Deepika, a lamp which illumines the hidden and deeper meaning of Bhagavad Gita. It's a very famous commentary. Okay. And in that beginning, he writes 9 verses. 9 verses offering namaskaram, offering salutations to the great Mahabharatam, in which the Bhagavad Gita is a part. The second is the Bhagavad Gita itself, him as a mother. He offers namaskaram to Bhagavad Gita as a mother because it offers us wisdom, knowledge, and shows the path to liberation. Third, he offers salutations to Lord Krishna, through who taught Arjuna. So there are total 4 namaskarams, and fourth one is the namaskaram to the great Vyasacharya, one of the greatest acharya, who is called Bhagavan Vyasa, who is believed to be the avatar of Vishnu himself. So he offers 4 namaskaram. One is namaskaram to Mahabharatam. Second is namaskaram to the Vyasacharya who wrote Mahabharatam. Third, to Lord Krishna who taught Arjuna. And fourth is the Bhagavad Gita itself as a mother. So first we will chant. I will lead, you please follow. Om Partaya
Pratibodhita.
I will lead, you follow, so that everybody follows. Okay. Om Partaya Pratibodhitam.
Om
Partaya Pratibodhitam.
Bhagavata
Bhagavata.
Narayanena Swayam
Narayana Swayam.
Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim
क्योंकि आज तो 4 ही क्लास होती है, कितना भारी बैग नहीं होता है, और इसकी बुक्स अलग होती है.
Please mute yourself if you are talking, otherwise there will be disturbance. Ashtadashadhyayini ambatvamanusandadami Bhagavad Gita Bhagatveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindaya Tapatra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थाम विकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोतीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनिधि कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् मूकं करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः
तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्त्वहै
तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदै
वेदे
साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः
गायन्ति यं सामगाः
गायन्त्यं सामगाः
ध्यानावस्थितगतेन मनसा
ध्यानावस्थितगतेन मनसा
पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः
पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः
यस्यान्तं न विदुषुरसुरगणाः
यस्यान्तं न
विदुषुरसुरगणाः
देवाय तस्मै नमः
देवाय
तस्मै
नमः
देवाय तस्मै नमः
देवाय तस्मै नमः
Okay, these are the 9 verses which are chanted as Dhyana Shlokas. So now we will study the meaning of each shloka. So as I told you earlier, in the group also I wrote that there is no need for you to know the Sanskrit fully. If you know, fine. If you cannot read, doesn't matter. We have also given it in transliteration, and also each one will be explained to you. Okay, each word will be explained to you. All the slokas, a meaning is given in English, so which you can make notes while during the class. Normally during the class we don't advise to take notes because that will cause distraction. Better thing is to listen to the recording later, because these things have to be listened to again and again to imbibe the teachings. Okay, as we progress, as we go into deeper teachings, so it will require several listenings to understand. So the advice is to take notes while listening to the recording. In the class, if you want to take, can take, but don't spend too much time into these taking notes. Otherwise, you will miss the teachings. So with that, we will start the meaning of these shlokas. Before proceeding, do you have any doubts? And you want to ask anything, you can ask. Any clarifications on methods, how you want to go about it? Anything can be shared so that I have an idea. Okay, if there are no questions, then we will start with the first Dhyana Shloka, Om Partaya Pratibodhita. Here, Om, it starts with Om. Om is, we all know, it is the name of the Lord. Om is a representation of God. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Maharshi Patanjali says, Tasya Vachaka Pranavada. This Om is a Pranava mantra in which the God resides. The Lord resides. Whenever we say Om, it is a name of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita is referred to as Amba, mother, because it is mother of all knowledge. Shankaracharya says, if you cannot study Vedas, if you cannot study Upanishads, if you don't have time, if you don't have the means to study, at least study Bhagavad Gita. That itself is capable of giving us moksha. Okay. That is why it is called mother, mother of all texts. A simple text with 700 verses. Imagine studying Vedas. There are 4 Vedas. One Veda takes about 12 years to study. 4 Vedas, 48 years. If you study major Upanishads also, it takes about 5 to 10 years. So many scriptures are there. One lifetime may not be enough because we are all grahasthas, householders. We have our own responsibilities. In that grahastha life, we are all trying to lead this spiritual path and attain moksha. So there is a simple way, simpler way. That simpler way is this studying the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya strongly recommends, if you cannot study any other scriptures, at least study Bhagavad Gita thoroughly, which will lead you to moksha. So naturally, it is referred to as, it is respectfully called as mother. Just like our mother teaches us to speak, she guides us, she imparts values in us. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita also imparts values, teaches, guides us in life. So it is called as mother. Amba Bhagavad Gita, oh mother. So Bhagavata Narayanena. Okay. Before that, Anusandadami. Anusandadami means I constantly meditate upon. Not only I study Bhagavad Gita, I constantly meditate upon it. The teachings I always meditate upon. In each and every moment of my life, I meditate upon the teachings. Then this Bhagavad Gita was taught by none other than Narayana himself. Narayanena Swayam. By Bhagavan Narayana himself. Lord himself took avatar as Lord Krishna and taught this Shastram to Arjuna, and through Arjuna to all the human beings. To whom he taught? Parthaya. Here Arjuna is referred to as Partha. Partha means son of Pritha. Pritha is another name for Kunti. Who is Kunti?
Mother.
Mother of Arjuna.
Mother of Arjuna, mother of Pandavas. So she is also called as Pritha. So son of Pritha is Partha. So whenever
7 o'clock.
Whenever we hear the name Partha, we should understand it is Arjuna. Pratibodhitam means taught. Purana Munina Vyasena Gratitam. And this was faithfully collected and reported by the ancient sage Vyasa. This Mahabharatam was collected, compiled, and reported by Vyasa. Whatever happened in Mahabharata, the great sage Vyasa collected it, compiled it, and reported it. He reported the dialogue, the samvade, the conversation between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. Madhye Mahabharatam, in the middle of Mahabharata. As many of you may be aware, it is appearing on the 6th chapter of Mahabharata. So it appears in the middle of the Mahabharata. And Advaita Amrita Varshini, the nature of showering the nectar of non-duality. Amrita means the nectar. It offers us, it showers us with the nectar of non-duality. Non-duality is Advaitam. Dvaita means duality. Advaita means non-duality. What is this Advaitam and all that we will discuss when we progress. Then Ashtadasa Adhyayini. It is in 18 chapters. It consists of 18 chapters. Mahabharata also has got 18 chapters and Bhagavad Gita also has got 18 chapters. Bhagavad Veshini, the destroyer of samsara. By studying Bhagavad Gita, we can get out of this samsara, destroy this samsara. All of you must be aware what is samsara. This birth, death cycle, what we call punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. We take birth, we do karma, we accumulate karma, then we die, again we take birth, and the cycle continues. The samsara continues. There is no end to the samsara unless we seek scriptural help and get out of this samsara. In Bhagavad Gita, very much offers that. Then Bhagavati, the goddess, the mother, which is divine. Tvam Anusandadami, I repeatedly invoke. So overall meaning is Om, goddess mother, Bhagavad Gita. I repeatedly invoke you. I repeatedly meditate upon you, who were taught by Bhagavan Narayana himself for the sake of Arjuna, the son of Pritha, Kunti. This was faithfully collected and reported by the ancient sage Vyasa, and it is placed in the middle of Mahabharata in 18 chapters. This Bhagavad Gita has the nature of showering the nectar of non-duality, Advaitam, and who is the destroyer of samsara. This is the meaning. So here Bhagavad Gita is invoked as mother. So any beginning like beginning of Bhagavad Gita is considered to be very auspicious. So we begin with the word Om. Om is the name of the Lord Bhagavan. So whatever prayers we start, it always starts with Om. It is an auspicious way to begin the verses. So a mother is a symbol of love. She is a symbol of affection, and she is symbol of care, who always takes care of her children. Similarly, Vedas, Upanishads, and in turn Bhagavad Gita also takes care of us. It has empathy for us, it has kindness for us, and it helps us to cross over this samsara. So it is invoked as mother. Bhagavad Gita was taught to Partha, Arjuna, son of Kunti Devi, and through Arjuna we are taught. So Arjuna is the cause of Bhagavad Gita. Because of Arjuna, we got this teaching, and he is the cause. So it is called Nimitta Karana. He is the cause. Second is Lord Krishna is a teacher of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Narayana, Vishnu himself took the avatar of Krishna to destroy Kamsa, etc. And in the process, he also taught Bhagavad Gita. So it is not taught by any other guru, not Vyasa, not anyone, but directly by Narayana himself. In our tradition, we consider all the teachers as Narayana himself. When we offer Namaskaram to Guru, we consider him and offer Namaskara as a Narayana. But here, Narayana himself has taught, and Lord himself as Krishna or the teacher of Bhagavad Gita. Then the third Namaskaram is to the great sage Vyasa. And Vyasa Charya, instead of saying he wrote Mahabharata, it is said it is compiled by him. It is codified by him. It was reported by him. So many of you may be aware that Bhagavad Mahabharatam is considered to be the fifth Veda. Even if we don't study all the four Vedas, if we study Mahabharatam, that itself is equivalent to studying Veda, because it consists of all the teachings of all the essence of Vedas in the form of stories. So he is the reporter, and this reporting is very, very, very important. Lord Narayana taught Arjuna, and Arjuna was given this Upadesam advice, but who had reported it? It is the Vyasa. And this reporter, Vyasa, is not an ordinary person. It's not an ordinary person. He wrote 100,000 verses, 1 lakh verses, which is beyond our imagination. It is the biggest epic in the world. No, 10 times bigger than any other epics known in Greek and other literature. It's beyond our imagination, 100,000 verses. So many characters, so many names, so much knowledge. Okay. So here Vyasa Rishi is described as Purana Muni, an ancient sage. Okay. A Muni. Muni is what? Is a person who is capable of bestowing careful thought over a particular subject matter. So he is referred to as Purana Muni. Then finally, the Geeta herself, the Geeta, which is referred to as the nectar of non-duality. What is nectar? Nectar is Amritam. This Advaita Amritam is given in the Bhagavad Gita. And what is the subject matter of Gita? What Lord Narayana teach Arjuna? What was taught is described as a shower of Amrita, nectar. Amritam normally comes only in drops, but in the Bhagavad Gita, Amritam is showered upon us. It pours. And what kind of nectar, what kind of Amritam it is? All the Amritam are sweet to taste, but they don't last forever. But the Amritam showered by Gita is different. It not only provides us happiness here, but also showers us with Amrita of Advaita, non-duality. Amritam that is used here gives us that sense of immortality. When we say Amritam, it is immortality. What is immortality? Not that we are going to live forever. Immortality means freedom from this birth and death cycle, samsara. It gives us that immortality. The knowledge here given in the Bhagavad Gita frees us from mortality in the form of life and death. In Advaitam, non-duality, there is no second thing. There is no second thing. There is only one, that is Brahman, that is this Atma. So, with this knowledge, any fear of life is totally eliminated. When we study, when we imbibe the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, all the fears that we face in our day-to-day life, every moment that we face, the fears of unknown, the fear of imaginary things, everything will be destroyed. Only in duality, only in Dvaitam, fear exists. But fear cannot exist in Advaitam, non-duality, because there is no second thing to fear. There is only one that is permanent, which is Nityam, which is Sachit Ananda, that can only give us bliss, Ananda, and it can never give us fear. This ultimate truth, this non-duality, that you are everything and that there is nothing other than you, is not an ordinary subject matter. Not everybody can accept, everybody can understand this. There is nothing other than you. When we say nothing other than you, there is nothing other than Atma. There is nothing other than the Brahman. And that is the meaning of non-duality. Non-duality, Advaita, means that you are the whole. You are Purnatvam. You are complete in all the aspects. You don't need anything else to complete you. In our delusion, in our moha, because of our ignorance, we cling on to things. We seek security. We seek comfort. We seek safety from others, from other things. We seek security through money. We seek security through house. We seek emotional support through relationships, because we think that we are incomplete and we need something else, somebody else to complete us. Whereas Shastram tells us you are complete in yourself only. You are Purnatvam. You are complete in all aspects. You don't require anything else to complete you. You are the whole. So, Bhagavad Gita is Amritam of non-duality, Dvaitam. The nectar is used here because just like nectar is something to be tasted and it is something to be experienced, this Advaitam, non-duality, is something to be understood, something to be experienced, something to be tasted by yourself. The Mother Goddess, Bhagavad Gita, showers the nectar of non-duality upon us. This shower of nectar is the vision of Advaitam, non-duality. It is the message of Lord Narayana himself. Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavati, the goddess, is not separate from Bhagavan's vision. Bhagavad Gita tells us that Krishna is Ishvara, the Lord. And along with him, she blesses us because she gives us this knowledge. In this verse, Bhagavad Gita is addressed as the one who has 18 chapters. It is said, O Gita, the one with 18 chapters, I salute you. The Amritam of Advaitam, non-duality, destroys the bhava, the samsara, completely. Bhava means a life of becoming with all of its problems and fears, a life of sorrow, a life of bondage, a life of birth and death. The teaching of Bhagavad Gita is therefore the medicine for that samsara, that by which the whole samsara is destroyed. The destroyer of samsara and the nectar of non-duality, they go together. And they are referred to and it is referred to as Mother Gita, who destroys the samsara by showering the nectar of Advaitam, non-duality. So in the first verse, we salute Goddess Mother Bhagavad Gita by meditating upon her, by invoking her before we start our study. Also, we cannot think about Bhagavad Gita without thinking about the great sage Vyasa, Lord Krishna, and Arjuna, who is called Partha in this verse. In the second verse, the great Rishi Vyasa is addressed. This is the meaning of the first sloka. Any questions, any doubts on this? No, everybody has understood. Good. In that case, I'll move on to the second verse. Vyasacharya, Vishala Buddhe, one who has a vast mind. Vishala Buddhe means one who has a vast mind. Imagine somebody who wrote 100,000 verses, a great epic Mahabharata. What must be the level of intelligence? What must be the level of intelligence? He is described as Pullaravinda Ayata Patra Netre. One whose eyes are beautiful like the soft petals of lotus. His eyes are so beautiful like the petals of a full-blown lotus. O Vyasa, Vyasa means O Vyasa, Yenat, by you, Bharata Taila Purnaha, filled with the oil of Mahabharata. This all we will explain. Jnanamaya means in the form of knowledge. Pradipaha is the lamp. Prajwalita is well lighted. Te means to you. Nama astu. Let my salutation be. Bhagavan Vyasa, salutation to you, the one who has a vast mind, Vishala Buddhi, whose eyes are beautiful like the soft petals of a lotus, by whom was lighted the lamp of knowledge, filled with the oil of Mahabharata. So, here Vyasacharya is described as one whose intellect, whose knowledge is vast, Vishala Buddhi. He wrote not 1 or 2 verses, he wrote more than 100,000 verses, that is more than 1 lakh verses. They just flowed out of him. They just flowed out of him. There is a story you must be aware. If you are not aware, I'll just tell you. When Vyasacharya was planning to write Mahabharata, so he could not write himself. He had to dictate, 100,000 verses. Naturally, a stenographer is required. Okay. So he had to dictate and somebody had to write. So he was searching for someone who can write, because he was blessed with such a great intellect. His speed was great. Somebody was required to write it with the same speed, and it was not possible for any humans to do that. Okay. So he requested Lord Ganesha to write it, because Ganesha is a symbol of wisdom, we all know, God of high intellect. So he requested Lord Ganesha that I will dictate Mahabharata and you please write it. So Lord Ganesha had agreed to write Mahabharata as per the dictation of Vyasacharya, but he put one condition. What was that condition? That Vyasacharya would not stop once he starts dictating. The flow should be continuous, non-stop. He should dictate. So Vyasacharya had agreed that he will dictate non-stop. But he also put one condition. Vyasacharya also put one condition to Ganesha, that Lord Ganesha, that you should understand that everything I say, whatever I dictate, before you write, you should understand the meaning in every sense. Lord Ganesha, being Lord Ganesha, he had agreed, because there is nothing that he cannot understand. Okay. So Lord Ganesha broke one of his tusk, that tusk, sharpened it and wrote it down. That is why Lord Ganesha is shown with one tusk broken. There are 2 tusks, one tusk is always broken. That is because he broke it and sharpened it to write Mahabharata. On the palm leaves, he wrote it. So if you observe the Murti of Lord Ganesha, you will find one tusk broken. That is the story behind it. So in Mahabharata, most of the verses are simple descriptive verses, which we can easily understand. But once in a while, we will come across a shloka verse, which is very complicated, very profound, very deep in meaning. It has different meanings. If you interpret, it will have different meanings. Why it is given? Vyasacharya used this technique to have a break in between, because he had to dictate 1000 verses. Imagine, here he is also human being, so he wanted some break in between. So once in a while he will dictate a complicated verse, a difficult, profound verse which has deeper meanings, which took some time for Lord Ganesha to understand before writing. So that is how the technique was used, so that he can have a break. Because Lord Ganesha was so intelligent and he could write so fast, so Vyasacharya had to compose a difficult verse whenever he wanted a break. Okay, this is the story. And Vyasacharya is described as a person with big beautiful eyes. Normally we describe women as having beautiful eyes. But here, the meaning is the eyes were so clear and pleasing. Okay, that is the meaning we have to understand. Vyasacharya is also compared here to a lamp that sheds light. Any lamp light, when we light it, it gives light. And Vyasacharya lighted a lamp which gives light of knowledge. This lamp is very well lit. Okay. And he is the one who lights the lamp of knowledge for us. The lamp that was lighted by Vyasa is filled with the oil of Mahabharata. This great epic Mahabharata is considered to be the fifth Veda because it is true to the knowledge found in the Vedas. Whatever knowledge given in the Veda, they are in the Mahabharata itself. So it was written for this sole purpose of lighting up this knowledge. So whenever we present a small object against a much larger background, the beauty is very evident, clear. The Mahabharata is like a big canvas, okay, from whose vast background the Vedic knowledge comes out. Knowledge is the lamp and the Mahabharata epic is its fuel. The fuel is for the lamp and the lamp is not for the fuel. We offer fuel to the lamp. The lamp is not for the fuel, but the fuel is for the lamp. So this verse, he pays tribute to Vyasacharya, who lit up the wisdom of Vedas with the oil of the great Mahabharata. So to Vyasa, who lit the lamp of knowledge with his epic oil, I offer my salutation. That is the meaning of this second verse, which offers salutations to the great sage Vyasacharya. So with this, we will conclude today's session. Time is up. We have a couple of minutes. Somebody has asked a question, Kirtana. Is Mahabharata considered as fifth Veda or the Bhagavad Gita? No, Mahabharata is considered as the fifth Veda. And Bhagavad Gita is only a part of Mahabharata. And it is the essence of Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita, because we cannot study Mahabharata itself. Mahabharata itself takes several years to study. So even if we study Bhagavad Gita out of this Mahabharata, that itself is adequate to cross over the path of the samsara sagar. There are so many stories. Ganesha's tusk was cut by Parasuram. There may be many stories in the Puranas, but here we have to take it as it is written. He was the stenographer, if we can call it, and he used his tusk to write Mahabharata on the palm leaves. Because we have so many Puranas, there may be so many stories, you know. Yes, somebody has asked where original script of Mahabharata is available. Yes, it's very much available. All the 100,000 verses are available. There is one translator called Ganguly. He has written entire translation. It contains 11 volumes, huge volumes, which I have a copy. If anybody is interested, you can buy and study, but it will take several years to study. Okay. It takes several years to study Mahabharata. Everything is available. All the 100,000 verses are available. If anybody has interest and time, and one can definitely study it. It's very much available in English also. Somebody has asked to differentiate between Mahabharata and Bhagavatam. Mahabharata is the epic story of the fight between Kauravas and Pandavas. And Bhagavatam is a different scripture. It is said that after writing Mahabharatam and all the 18 Puranas, Vyasacharya wrote all the 18 Puranas, Mahabharatam, everything, he compiled all the Vedas. Even after completing all these mind-blowing, enormous works, he felt incomplete. He was dissatisfied. He said, something is missing. I am not feeling happy. Imagine after writing Mahabharata, after codifying, compiling all the Vedas, after writing this Mahabharatam, still he said, I feel unhappy, I feel incomplete. Then the sage Narada, we know Narada is divine Rishi. So he told him that there is one thing is missing, that bhakti. You write Bhagavatam and you shower your bhakti, you show your bhakti to Lord Narayana, then your quest will be complete. That is how he came to write this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is nothing but pure bhakti scripture. It tells several stories and it gives us that bhakti part of it. Okay. If there are no more questions, have you understood this, both the verses, both the Dhyana Shlokas?
Yes.
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 Okay. The speed is okay. I am not going very fast or very slow.
Yeah, very comfortable.
Okay, good. So first verse is salutation to Bhagavad Gita. Second verse is salutation to Vyasacharya. That is clear understanding from Gita. Nice. All of you have understood. So we'll say the final prayers, closing prayers, and close the class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah.
Sarve Santu Niramayaha.
Sarve Santu Niramayaha.
Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu.
Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu.
Ma Kaschid Dukhabhag Bhavet.
Ma Kaschid Dukhabhag Bhavet.
Asato Ma Sadgamaya.
Soma Sadgamaya.
Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Prityorma Amritam Gamaya.
Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya.
Om Purnamadav
Om Purnamadav
Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnat
Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnamadaya
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते।
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
शान्ति शान्ति।
हरिः ओम्।
हरिः ओम्।
गुरुभ्यो नमः।
गुरुभ्यो नमः।
हरिः ओम्। ॐ तत्सत्। ॐ नमः शिवाय। Thank you all for joining. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Acharya ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Acharya ji.
Thank you all.